Hello and welcome to DDOCaSplat. We're a static group that plays on Khyber and most Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Uh, Congratulations if you're watching this live at the right time. You have successfully figured out our daylight savings time because I think everyone here fell back an hour. I don't think we have anybody who's not in that boat. But we're starting an hour.
To be an hour.
Yeah, we're starting an hour earlier. Actually, I believe Washington actually approved getting rid of daylight savings time. But it has to be approved by the federal government, and they haven't done that. So, I remember reading that. So that may not be a thing in the future for me. We'll see.
Are you sure they got rid of daylight savings time, or that they made this permanent switch to daylight?
I have no idea. I can't even tell you which one's the quote normal time. If it's in the summer or I can get as far as fall back or spring forward. I can get that part. Like I can manage the clock, which I don't have to do anymore because I have a cell phone that does it for me. But what do you think? 3, 4? Bueller?
Gosh, I don't know.
We'll do 3 just because they're longer. But yeah, so we've survived daylight savings time, going in or out. I don't know which one's which. Also, we'd like to welcome those of you who are taking shelter from election coverage to come watch us. All one of you. Don't worry, this is the last time we'll talk about the election. Welcome.
Raise your hand if you're in a recount state.
I mean, raise your hand if you're in a state that's still counting.
That too.
Although my state doesn't. They called my state about 5 minutes after the polls closed. So. I know I said we weren't going to talk about the election, but apparently Washington State, your ballot can arrive as late as like November 23rd or something like that. It has to be postmarked by election day, but it can arrive like the end of November practically. Which logistically I find sort of curious. Like how long does the mail have to be delayed for that to work?
I heard earlier there is a inquiry with the United States Postal Service as to why it's quote unquote taking so long.
Dame Gold points to the door at the rear of the chamber. The path beyond the service entrance will lead you to the abandoned temple. The slavers have set up an outpost there.
But anyways, hey, let's talk about something else. Hey, look, I have a displacer beast. If you're wondering what the displacer beast looks like for Feywild.
You hear the sound of steel in her voice. When you find them,
He's so cute.
I expect you to destroy them. All of them.
The eyes are a little creepy. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't think so.
I'm also wearing the mosaic outfit, if you want to see what that looks. Although it's a little harder to see with the flames going on.
Yeah, and I'm wearing the
As a shifter.
razor blade.
I should.
You got back up to epics pretty quickly there.
Me? I've been running with PJ. This is my second shift.
A poorly disguised secret door can be seen at the
We cruise through things. I mean, with Night Revels on, which it's still on for a couple more days, like that's a lot of XP.
That's true.
Yeah.
You do them all on 35, and there's a remnant in the back. You do them all on 35, and you're looking at a nice chunk of XP. It's about 200,000. It's at least 200. Well, depending what pot you're using and stuff. At least like 190,000 XP for each of them, and the cold chamber one is like almost 300,000.
Plague Reaper.
To have been destroyed, then hastily repaired.
Trap is down.
Anybody get anything from Night Revels this year?
Got some
Intel.
augments.
I mostly just turned in stuff I had and I got from my XP runs. I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for anything. I did get some of the cosmetics, which I'll be featuring later, much to Arcot's chagrin. I gotta say, the mosaic armor set here, the hat somehow doesn't look as bad on a gnome as it has on every other race I've looked at it on.
It looks pretty sharp. That's
Oops, sorry.
Whoa. Trap.
That was my fault. I was doing checking levels and things. I don't really like this armor, to be honest. And it's mostly the fin on the top of this hat.
Very different.
Did you get that raise, Arcat?
Stepped away for a moment.
Oh.
You're on Reaper.
No, I'm guessing you stepped away for a second. Probably finishing dinner, or the dog's going crazy or something like that.
He's
He's
back.
back.
I got a stone.
Hanging.
So, Mr. Arcot,
Yes.
how good are these Steelers?
Better than I thought.
Ow. Hey, I found some traps.
Me too.
At least you had evasion.
I do.
I don't. I'm waiting.
Probably a smart play. Do the Steelers play the Chiefs at all this year?
I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Who else is in that division? The Broncos.
Broncos, Raiders, and Chargers.
I don't know if they play that division or not. I don't think so.
You'd play at least one of them. Do you remember where you placed? I'm on my butt. Do you remember where you placed on in your division last year?
No. I think we finished 8-8. Or they finished 8-8.
Remnant.
Probably second or third.
So maybe second. It could have been second.
So you'd play whoever was second in that division last year, even if you weren't playing them. Playing the division. Which would not be the Chiefs.
No.
The Raiders?
Maybe the Chargers.
Chargers?
Maybe the Chargers.
Chargers or Raiders?
I could just look up the schedule. That would be easier.
Oh, but that would ruin the conversation.
This room stinks of vinegar, fire, and rot. The odor pours from a large mound of smoldering.
I mean, the internet's great and all, but sometimes it just like ruins conversations, you know?
You mean you watch them to each
Remember way back when you'd be like, do you remember that one movie, that one actor? Oh God, what's the person's name? and you'd have to think about it, and
Uh-oh.
like 3 days later you'd remember it instead of just looking up the movie and figuring out who it was.
So I'm that guy that always has his iPad with him, so I can look up stuff, you know. And I call it the look it up a Bob is what I call my iPad.
Ow.
Because I can't stand the idea of
The not knowing is.
I have this wonderful piece of technology, you know, and people ask questions. Well, okay, look it up. It's easy.
Of course, on the flip side of that, you can look up all sorts of things that aren't as well.
Remnants.
A couple of them. I had a friend in college who had this saying that the internet knows everything and some things that aren't.
That aren't what?
True. Aren't. They don't.
Oh,
they're
okay. Gotcha.
not true. They
Okay.
don't actually exist. Or
Ooh, a shrine.
I can't imagine there's things that aren't true on the internet. I think you're full of hooey.
The air grows chill in the graveyard. The plants sway gently, even though there is no wind. The sound of a door opening can be heard in the distance.
oh, look at all these lost souls.
Whoa.
Hey, look at Atsu's Soulstone. And may or may not have gotten distracted by the lost souls.
Clear. Thank you.
As long as I'm Ribbit, ribbit.
I'm trying to think if there's any good movies that might be coming out, like, ever.
So many of them have been pushed back.
I know.
Yeah.
Ep 1 of The Mandalorian.
A couple of Reapers down there, at least 2, maybe 3.
Oh yeah, I just watched episode 1 of season 2.
Still haven't watched the
Lot
first
of-
season.
A lot of callbacks to the original show or original movie.
Cool.
Shocking.
I did see.
Yeah, but they were cool. I thought they were good.
So now we get to play the game. Well, what's her name? The wrestler lady, Gina.
No, she wasn't.
She's
wasn't
in the
show.
trailer. She's in the trailer
Nope.
for the season.
The lady at the spaceport was in, and then
Wait?
the
I don't think we're talking about the same
lady-
person.
no, we're not. But I said
Okay.
the lady at the spaceport with the droids that fix your ship. She was in it, and she's a callback. And then Timothy Oliphant was in it, which was cool.
Is he a callback?
And no,
Okay.
no, he was a new character. He was a new character. But
I do like him.
Was he the marshal?
he's the episode is called The Marshal, aka
No,
hey.
I don't want to know anything about it.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking, was he the marshal? Did he play the marshal?
Yes, he played the Marshal.
Okay.
But he also was in that show. What the one where he was the Marshal in Kentucky.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
Arcat, get out your looky-uppy thingy.
Now, this I don't care about, so you guys are on your own.
Oh, only look the happy thing.
That's a great. That was a great show. In fact, that's one I got to go back and watch again.
Longmire? Or whatever?
No, not Longmire.
I don't know. I've never seen that, but it seemed like something you were.
enjoyed
No, Longmire I enjoyed. It was parts of it that I didn't care for, but I did enjoy
Yeah.
that one.
We're watching Longmire.
Well, that's right in your backyard almost.
Well, it's actually filmed in New Mexico.
I know, but
I mean,
From here.
nobody who films in the same place that they're setting something in, right? Other than like B-roll helicopter shots. I mean, it's not like movies that are set in London are actually filmed in London half the time anymore. I mean, how many times has Chicago doubled as New York?
Although my sister, who lives in London, did send me a picture when they were filming. Oh, what was the spy movie? Oh,
A James Bond movie?
not James Bond.
Ooh.
Kingsman?
Oh, Kingsman.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I like
She did send me a picture of them filming something there. And I was in Chicago when they were filming Transformers, and they had shut down the bridges over the river, and there was a helicopter flying back and forth. I think it was supposed to be fighting one of the big Transformer dudes. That was cool.
Which Transformer movie?
Not the original one of the sequels.
just say one of the bad ones and you cover them all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it could be the animated ones aren't bad, right?
No, it
Oh,
was,
the,
no, it was.
oh,
it was
the
live
animated
action.
one is
They
awesome.
wouldn't be filming an animated one in Chicago. Come on.
That's what makes it fun.
That is a good point.
Oh, corner. The corner. Yes. See, next you're gonna tell me that they did a bunch of on-site filming for The Lion King.
Remnant,
Well, the live action one.
more than one.
Yeah, calling that one live action is being generous.
But it was.
I mean, they fully digitized the animals.
Nice. Mr. Arcott, were you looking for anything ingredients-wise?
We got incoming.
He's incoming.
If nobody wants their stuff, I'll take them.
Whoa! Ooh, that happened fast.
Yeah, I got a little chunky there too.
Yeah, if nobody wants their materials in the chest, I'll take whatever you want to give me.
Clear. Thank you.
Anything else?
Tasha, there's something wrong with your microphone or something. We can barely hear you.
Okay, I made some adjustments trying to keep my keyboard sound, which shouldn't be going through.
I think it was just it just cut you out. Like if you're using.
It sounds like you're in a toilet or something.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, I've got exactly the same setup.
We were trying to figure it out before the show and didn't seem to have any
Yeah.
luck with it.
She's got to work on it. We thought maybe her laptop speakers were, or computer speakers were picking it up instead of her actual headset. So.
It says that the microphone is doing the job, but I don't know. Sorry.
It's okay.
We've heard worse.
That.
Famine rate.
Running behind because I was trying to play with my mic setting again.
Fighters.
Oh,
Fighters coming.
I went the wrong way. I'm bringing friends.
Oh dear.
Whoa.
Oh,
Free Reaper. And a Famine Reaper.
Oh,
Or rather,
exciting.
Plague Reaper, sorry.
All sorts of fun.
Trying to get these fountains down. Sorry. These trees.
Oh,
Ow.
smoked.
Revenant.
clear.
2 remnants.
I see 1, 2.
Anka.
Bitte.
So who's excited for Feywild tomorrow?
Me.
I mean, yay, new content.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be fun. More things that we don't know anything about to go play with? That sounds great.
By the way, PJ, the Steelers do not play the Chiefs. They play Dallas this weekend, and the Bengals, and the Jaguars, and the Ravens, and the Washington football team.
So 16 and 0.
Well, the Ravens are in there. They could lose to the Ravens.
The Bills, then the Bengals
No,
again,
what's his face is playing like crap.
then the Colts, and then the Browns. So there's a couple of worrisome games in there.
Don't sleep on the Bengals and the Browns.
That's why I said there's a couple of
Yeah,
tired games in there.
those division games are always kind of dangerous, right? Like, seems like every year there's always teams that are doing really well and playing division teams that have no business winning any football games, and somehow they win.
So,
I mean, what, like 2 teams have ever gone 0-16 or something, or winless? I think only
No,
one.
just one. Just one.
Well, only one has gone 0-16, but didn't someone else go winless, but just in a shorter season?
Not sure.
The
Who went
Tampa Bay
winless?
Buccaneers went 0-14 one season, and then they damn near went 0-14 the second season.
There you go. The Lions are the ones that went 0-16, so.
No, the
I thought.
Dolphins.
Dolphins went 16-0.
Oh, 0-16.
Or
Oh, never mind.
0-16.
Sorry.
Yeah,
The
the
Dolphins went 14-0
14-0.
and then won the Super Bowl.
Right, so they finished 17-0. Yeah, I thought the Lions did finish 0-16 one year.
You know, it's funny. I generally consider the NFL to be one of the most equitable sports leagues in terms of like designing a system that really tries to make things more competitive from year to year. And yet they also seem to have some of the most stubbornly bad teams out of
Bad ownership. Bad ownership.
I mean, the Jets, the Lions,
The guy
Browns.
that the guy named Brown that either still owns or used to own the Bengals was one of the worst for a long time. One of the absolute worst owners in the league. And I guess he might still own them. I'm not positive of that, but for the Bengals, it was their owner that was just really holding them back. Ask yourself, how can an owner hold the team back? Well, they keep making the wrong hires, and they they bad morale because of some things, stupid things they say, or some things that they do, like trade the best player for a bag of footballs. I mean, the owners can really have an adverse effect on the team.
Oh yeah. You don't gotta convince me. I mean, it always seems to come back to, can you find there's a rum chest here. Can you find a coach who is better than the average mean? Can you find a quarterback that's better than the average mean? Because most of the teams that wallow in mediocrity and lousiness, they can't find their quarterback. The teams that compete consistently from year to year have a quarterback. And unless you're Green Bay, I don't think any team has really done a great job with the teams just don't tend to do a great job with the quarterback transition, right?
Doesn't matter if you don't have a defense.
Hey, the Seahawks are putting that theory to the test this year.
Yeah, their defense is a little porous.
A little. That's like saying the Titanic had a leak.
Let's get off the football subject because half of our party here is not even talking. So let's talk about other things.
So, ladies, what are you wearing today?
I knew that was going to come up.
The rest of us.
Well, when you said Bengals, I was like, well, they had some really good songs back in the day.
Can I get a blur, please?
Oh, absolutely. I'd given up because I couldn't keep track of who needed what. I gave you GH2 just on general principle.
That's good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll take a blur, do you?
Oh, that'd be
Actually, no, wait. I have it permanently, right?
only if I can find you. You don't need it?
I think I have it permanently.
Can I have it too, Tosh?
What do you need?
Saphira, can I have a blur?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
Remind me later. I'll forget exactly who needs what. I see a remnant.
Careful leaving your mic open, Tosh. We're picking up your keyboard a lot today.
I'm sorry. I'll go ahead and put it on mute.
A remnant.
Might want to check your computer to see if your computer's forcing your laptop speaker to be instead of your mic.
It says it isn't, but I don't believe it.
There's traps there.
I have to admit, it is kind of nice standing in the middle of a trap and just watching the save go over my head again and again. That is the one thing that I wasn't expecting with the Alchemist. I have a pretty high save, and I appreciate
Did you
that.
take insightful reflexes?
What did I take? I don't even remember now.
Because they're intelligence based, so you can get intelligence to.
I did.
Actually, they might get that for free.
Is a wonderful.
I think they get that for free.
Ah.
I don't know.
Oh,
There's a ladder right here, except
Yep.
Just lagged
my
off.
egg is.
Yeah, the ladder bug is. There we go.
Okay, Fear Reaper, all the way down there. Start shooting it and bring it up here.
Yucky. Almost.
So did you guys see the interview that Strim Tom did with the devs?
I did not.
No,
Okay.
anything interesting?
Well, sort of. So Linabelle was on the call, but Linabelle was using a voice, some sort of vocalizer, a modulator, yeah, that changed their voice to a male voice.
Interesting.
Just for fun, or?
Well, it couldn't be just for fun because I asked, I said, well, why? Because in the thread where Strim Tom posted the that he made to have people listen to it, I happened to mention it and said, why did Linabelle change the use of a voice, something to change their voice, and that was it. That's all I asked. Or I said something like, it sounds like Linabelle used a voice modulator or something to change their voice. Why? And that's all I said. And apparently somebody didn't like that because my post got deleted. Now I didn't get an infraction or anything because it wasn't an infractable thing, but I just thought it was a legitimate question. I mean, there could have been any number of reasons why it was used, but somebody got a bug up their ass, and my post was taken down. I'd never seen that happen, from Linabelle or anybody else.
Using a modulator, you mean?
Well, in a situation like this,
sure.
I mean, you're having an interview. I mean, why would you want to change your voice for basically an interview? It doesn't make any sense.
There's people that are really self-conscious about how they sound on things.
But Linabelle's been on any number of Ask the Devs and didn't do it before, so.
You want the chest down here, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh hey, did you hear that they found a murder hornet nest up here somewhere?
Yeah, I did.
I saw the article. You're in big trouble.
And they looked like they were going into a nuclear zone when you saw the pictures. I get it. I mean, I totally get it, but yeah.
Let's see if we can get a couple ones. No, the first fight we did in here, I thought my implosion was gonna end up being a lot more useful.
High fort saves in here, I guess.
I mean, I don't think this guy's saves are super duper either, so I don't exactly keep some of these guys up to date or anything. This guy's only come out for this and a couple of raids.
How many
I haven't seen you play this
Two.
tune in a long time.
2 lives?
I think so, yeah. 3. One of which is apparently a iconic past life. All my characters are up to the, have the 36-point build, but yeah, Scherza.
Believe it or not, I actually have one of my 30th my cap tunes, just one of them, mind you, is only a
32.
A second life, yeah, 30.
Oh, 34.
No, 34 pointer, yeah.
Remnant.
pressure plate. That's not a remnant.
There was a remnant right here.
No, I'm sure there was. I'm not
Ooh, and
disputing.
the second
I
one.
got 71, so it probably won't be any good for anyone else.
I'm not disputing that there's a remnant here. I just wanted to go pick what I thought was a remnant, and it was a trap. Like, nope, don't go pick that up.
Ooh, there's a pressure plate back here if we want to get more.
Cue under pressure music.
Dun 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 dun.
That's Ice
Took
Ice
me
Baby.
time
But,
to do it. I must have lagged.
or actually,
Yeah.
that is Under Pressure.
No,
I'm
that
sorry.
is
You're
Under
right, that's
Pressure.
the original one. I was thinking more like Billy Joel Under Pressure.
No,
No, that's just called pressure.
it's just pressure.
There's a soul up here.
And a remnant back here.
All right, we gotta talk about our remnant placement here. You know, put it in front of everybody, not in the back.
Ooh, there's more than one remnant.
Yeah, there are a couple.
The orc chieftain growls.
Oh yeah, one of them with a frog. I tell you guys I watched Trial of Chicago 7.
Nope.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
good.
a historical series, right? Or
It's a movie. It's based.
Abby
It-
Hoffman.
Yeah, it's a dramatization of the trial of sort
Chicago
of eight,
7.
well, there's sort of 8 of them, but the 8th is a black man who isn't really part of any of what they're doing, and he also gets mistrialed and separated. So
I don't remember. What did the Chicago 7 do or accused of doing?
they were accused of crossing state lines to incite
You're
riots.
stuffing you in the chest.
Thank
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Otzi. Appreciate it.
And it was, I think, the
19
Democratic,
1968.
yeah,
Yeah, 1968 Democratic Convention.
in Chicago.
You have to drink those, Saphira.
Yes, I'm finding where they are in my inventory.
Incoming.
I
Here
just,
we go.
it's got 3 potions of wonder.
Nothing happened.
I think I sent her a bunch. I'm knocked down.
Me
Ooh,
too.
I got aid. So I got
got
some temporary hit
AIDS?
points. No, aid. So I got temporary hit points, and and I got Cat's Grace +3.
You know, that
Let me
brings
add
up
those
kind of a weird thought in my brain about D&D and fantasy and stuff. The lores never really seem to have diseases or plagues or anything. Which I guess...
Ooh, I jumped right into the
Mummy
middle,
Rod,
but-
come on.
Yeah, Mummy Rod.
Okay, sure. But like
I
they never, you never see in D&D lore like dealing with like a plague or a pandemic or something like there's magical diseases and there's sickness and stuff, but it's
You're playing the wrong game. Play RuneQuest.
oh really?
There's a chaos god named Malia whose prime thing are diseases, and some of them are pretty freaking nasty. And they have like a guy who will blow himself up and start a plague across the land and so forth. Yeah, it's disease is a real thing in that game.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm fine with it not being in there, especially this year. Like, I don't need any more reminders of how lousy it is to deal with that kind of stuff.
You know how many board games came out this summer that were called Pandemic? There was
I don't.
There was literally at least 2, I think 3, or they reprinted the 3rd one.
But that's
Yeah.
kind of like I mean that's not something they did because of the pandemic, but that's something that is probably already in the works.
Ooh.
Hey, while we're just running somewhere, shout out for D&D night on DDO stream this week. We're starting a new series, a new campaign with Wizbot and Tosh here playing and me DMing.
That's not Rhyme the Frost Maiden, is it?
No, it is
No.
Oracle of War, which is an Adventure League series that they publish.
What is Adventure League? I don't know what that is.
Kevin, you should probably explain this better. You could probably do it better than I can.
So Adventures League is organized play. It's the original take your character to
Like Living
adventure.
Greyhawk. Okay.
Well, Living City was the original one, but yeah.
It's like pickup game for D&D, right?
No, well, you go to conventions and then you take your character to different conventions. So you imagine in the old days when you went to conventions, you were playing pre-generated characters. Then the RPGA came up with Living City, where you would create a character in the Forgotten Realms, and then you would go to different conventions, and then they would have new adventures set in that in the Living City, which originally was Raven's Bluff in the Forgotten Realms. But organized play is basically you take the same character to different conventions, you follow the rules regarding character creation and all that other stuff, and it's for people who like that kind of stuff and go to a lot of conventions. It's pretty fun. It's the same thing as Pathfinder Society, and there's a lot of different variations of it. Adventures League is the 5th edition version, but what Patrick's going to be doing is the Eberron stuff, which is new.
Yeah, I don't know how far they are into it, but the way that it kind of felt to me is like it's like D&D pickup game. So you have a character, and you could go to like your friendly game store, neighborhood game store, and they could have a couple of yeah. So it's like this.
That's kind of how it started,
right? So you have a character that's going through the same kind of content as other characters, and there's kind of hook points or like they call them legacy events in this. Now I don't know what they called it before, but if you achieve certain goals in previous adventures, you get bonuses or things can change later. It's a way of having games where anyone can DM the game and any players can bring their characters through the content, and you can change. Like, you don't need a static group. You can just have it be different from week to week and play at different tables with different people. Pickup games. Kind of a neat concept.
In a lot of different depending on when you play or what setting you play. I've had mixed experiences with it. The Paizo Pathfinder and Starfinder organized play I thought has been very good, whereas some of the Adventures League stuff has not been so good. But to each his own.
Thank you again.
I'm really looking forward to it. I don't typically do things that are heavy lore based, so I've actually really been enjoying kind of diving into the lore and learning the lore and kind of a thing. I found that I actually like it a lot more than I thought I would. Plus, I think the adventure is
the
kind of
Eberron
fun.
lore?
Yeah.
Well, if it's written well and they take a lot of the the world into account when they're developing some of these adventures, those have been the better ones in my opinion. But some of the early ones that they did when they first started Adventures League. So, excuse me, when WotC purchased TSR, they still ran the RPGA for several years, and then they did Living Greyhawk, and there was a couple other different companies that did versions of Living city or living events, and then it became called organized play. It wasn't until D&D Next that they started doing, which was the precursor to 5th edition. That's when they came up with Adventurers League, which is basically the same thing.
But anyways, we're going to be doing that starting this Sunday at 7 p.m.
Hey, Archie,
Eastern.
did you want to get your chest?
Oh, there was a chest?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
And that'll be on twitch.tv/DDOstream. And that campaign will be the second Sundays of the month. Rime of the Frost Maiden is the first week of the month. So we did that last weekend.
Who's running that?
Alex?
Alex.
Groovy,
yes.
Yeah, I don't know him.
Not to be confused with Grubby. I'm serious, that's a thing.
I know, I confused him too. That's why I'm laughing.
Both of whom are actually going to be playing an Oracle of War.
And we were very confused at first when he was pronouncing Grubby Groovy. We were trying to figure out what was happening.
For those who have no idea what we're talking about, Grubby is Tasha's husband. Are you doing, Beaker, are you doing Classic Night, or Classic D&D this month, or is that going to be...
I don't know yet. I still have to I still have to get with everybody. I threw out a bunch of dates, and oop, damn it, not paying attention. And I haven't followed up yet. We may end up running reruns at the end of December.
Possible. 'Tis the holidays.
Dogs.
Very well. I have other ways of dealing with the likes of you.
Butthead saved against my frog.
The slave lord crumples into a lifeless heap. Now to search for clues
Remnant.
to the location of the other slavers.
2 of them. And that jump failed.
You're a gnome.
No, like it didn't jump.
I stand by my comment.
The manifest describes a keep some distance
Does
from
anybody
here.
want the docent?
This fortress seems to play a major role in the slave trade.
Kind of
More
assume
clues
no.
about the slave lords
Okay,
can doubtless
Tosh,
be
did you
found
pick
there.
up that money? And the only reason I'm asking is because I clicked on it and clicked on it and clicked on it and clicked on it and clicked on it, and then I saw you run over and it disappeared.
I did because it had been there for a little bit. Sorry. You want it back? I'll give it to you.
No, that's so weird. I don't know why it wouldn't let me pick it up.
I just hit E and then hit. Yeah, I just. You know how you do. I don't know why it didn't go through for you. Should have done.
I know.
You guys
Does
want
anybody care? Sorry. Does anybody care about the executioner's plate mail?
or the docent?
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you. I think I've got both somewhere.
No, I don't. I would never use them.
Is it bound to account? I will take
It
that
is.
for my paladin actually.
Which one?
For the intimidate.
The plate mail?
Plate mail, yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
6:30. You guys want to do the next one or call it a night?
Yeah, can we just call it a night,
Sure.
please?
That's totally fine.
I think the time change has caught up with us all today.
Also,
Yeah.
it's been a stressful couple of days. There's
Yeah.
a lot going on. So, thanks for watching DDOCaSplat. We hope this was a nice diversion from that stress for you today. Thanks for joining us, and thanks guys for joining me. You can check us out at twitch.tv/DDOCast for playing live, as well as our weekly news and discussion podcast, DDOCast, live there as well. And you can find both of these on DDOCast.com or on our YouTube page for DDOCast. Again, don't forget to check out D&D Night on DDO Stream Sundays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can check out DDO.com for the official DDO Stream calendar and find other people playing DDO streaming as well. You can also find the DDO forums and download and play DDO yourself there. It is free, so that's an option. And you can follow us on Twitter at DDOCast. Thanks for watching.